Today's tech tip is how to replace a starter rope on a piece of outdoor power equipment. I am your host, Michael Outlaw, and let me tell you a little bit about myself. I have been a technician in the outdoor power equipment industry for 5 years, and I am also Kawasaki Dixie Chopper X-Mark and Steel factory certified. So let's run through a scenario. You're a homeowner and it's late in the evening or on a weekend and you have company coming over. So you go to start your string trimmer and wham! Oh my goodness, it broke. Grass emergency. No. Here's what you can do. This is a do-it-yourself video. You can fix this. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to gather up all the tools we need. So we got our tool to take the rewind cover off. We've got a lighter, pair of pliers, tape measure. I like to use a little bit of grease, scissors, new starter rope, and last but not least, safety glasses. Safety is paramount. So first, these on. Now, what we're going to do today, we're going to be working on the FS 111RX. It's a steel, and pretty much all the makes and models is going to be the same general principle as far as a starter rope replacement. First, we're going to take the cover off. Also, you want to make sure that you purchase the right diameter starter rope. Like there are some different ones out there. This is 2.7 millimeter. This is 3.5 millimeter. You just want to make sure you get the right one for your application. And also you want to make sure you cut it to the right length. Now, if you don't know what the length is, or if you can't find it in an owner's manual of some sort, don't fret. That's not a big deal. We can adjust that later. So this current model, what we're going to do is I'm going to look for why did this starter rope break. Was it premature wear, like this bushing wore in on the starter rope? Was it just old, frayed? I just want to know why. I'm that kind of guy. I want to know why something happened so that I can maybe prevent it from happening the next time. So I'm just inspecting, look, make sure this bushing is good. Want to make sure that my paws that engage the flywheel are good. Also, I want to make sure that this spring in here is good. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn it counterclockwise and just make sure that it's holding tension. So, you know, I don't replace the starter rope and then something else is wrong and then I got to end up pulling it back apart again. So first step we're going to do is we're going to take our starter rope and we're going to tie an overhand knot like so, and we're going to pull it, and then we're going to, I like to burn the end. That way you know you got a good knot. It's not going to pull back through. So next, we're going to take our handle that came off of the old starter rope, and we are going to thread it through, pull, and make sure. Now, what we're going to do is I always like to take these parts in the rewind cover apart. We're going to take our paw out. We're going to look at it, make sure it's good. We're going to make sure, we're going to pull our rope rotor out. We're going to make sure that that paw fits in there nice and snug, doesn't have any wear in it. We're also going to look at our spring and lube it up, maybe with some grease or some spray aerosol penetrating oil. So now that we know all this is good and it can go back together, we're going to take it and we're going to put it back together. Same way we got it, took it apart. And another good idea is, if you don't know how it came apart, simply, take pictures with your phone. Technology, it's great. So next, we're going to take our starter rope. And I like to do it with the rope rotor out. Cut the end because it's frayed. We're going to thread it through this hole. There's a hole in there. We're going to thread it through. And now we're going to tie another overhand knot. And that's just a bigger knot so that it doesn't pull through, a larger knot. Once we get that knot tied, what I like to do is burn the end, just because I'm detail oriented like that. I'm going to burn it. And now we are going to put our rope rotor back in. So make sure it engages. Once it engages, we're going to take our pawl, stick it back in. We're going to take our washer, stick it back on. We're going to take our clip. And like I said, you forgot how it came apart. It's a good idea to take a picture before you take it apart. So now we need to tension this. So what we're going to do is, on steels, they have a little notch here. If it doesn't have a notch, you can simply kind of like hold it up against her. And on this particular model, I know that it needs to be turned 6 times counterclockwise to tension that spring. If you don't know the proper tensioning, you can feel it get tight, and once it gets tight, you'll know. Just don't keep on going past that point. Once it gets tight, just stop there. So I'm going to turn it counterclockwise. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now I'm going to pull this through and let it pull itself onto there. Now, what I'm looking for, I'm going to pull it, and I want to make sure that pawl comes out so that it can engage that flywheel so that we can properly start this machine. And I'm just making sure also that the handle is sticking up, not flopped over or something like that. So now we know that this piece works. We need to reinstall. If you don't have an impact, that's good too. You can just use hand tools, but I always put these in and then I tighten them down with my hand tool. So now we're going to tighten it up, make sure it's tight. And now we need to verify that it's going to engage that flywheel. We're going to pull, it's engaging, and we're done. That easy. So I hope that was insightful for you, showing you how to fix your outdoor power equipment. Thanks.